The story begins with the calmness of a starry night shattered by a mysterious event. Earth's most advanced satellite network, designed to track space anomalies, suddenly picks up a strange signal. At first, it seems like a glitch, just a ripple in the vast emptiness of space. But as the data streams in, it becomes clear that this is no ordinary disturbance. The signal is unlike anything humans have ever encountered. Faint but powerful, the transmission seems to carry a hidden message, repeating a pattern that hints at intelligence. It's old, almost ancient, and most disturbingly, the signal comes from deep space, a region known to be uncharted and considered beyond reach. The signal's source is traced back to an unknown location near the frozen continent of Antarctica, an area long considered uninhabited, a cold wasteland, a place where nothing of importance ever happened. But the scientists at the Earth Defense Agency aren't so sure. They quickly alert their superiors. Military experts are called in, and a team of top scientists is assembled to investigate. What could this signal mean? Is it the work of another advanced alien race, or is it something else entirely? Days go by, and the world watches in anticipation. The initial reports from Antarctica suggest nothing unusual. Yet the signal continues. Then, after further scans, a shocking revelation emerges. Beneath the ice, buried in the deepest part of the continent, lies a massive object, one that defies all logic. The object is old, ancient even, and when researchers begin to dig deeper, they discover that it's a ship. No ordinary ship, but a warship long thought to have vanished from history, and it's human-made. This revelation shakes the world. Scientists are stunned, military leaders are skeptical, and political leaders scramble to understand the implications of such a discovery. The ship is unmistakably human in origin, yet it's far more advanced than anything Earth has ever created. The technology embedded in the ship's structure is so sophisticated that it appears to be from a time when humanity was far more powerful than anyone could have imagined. As news of the discovery spreads, the Galactic Council, an alliance of highly advanced alien civilizations that has long ruled the galaxy, becomes aware of the signal. The Council, which consists of beings from various worlds, views humanity as primitive, insignificant. To them, Earth is a distant, unimportant speck in the vast galaxy. Humans have been ignored, seen as a backward species with no technological standing. Their strength, their power, was nothing compared to the great civilizations of the galaxy. At first, the Galactic Council is unconcerned. The warship, they assume, is a relic of some ancient, long-gone human empire, a piece of history that has no bearing on the present. It's nothing more than a curiosity, says Selkor, an alien general who represents one of the more powerful factions in the Council. Humanity has no place in the future. They are no threat to us. The Council members, who rule with a cold, calculated grip, are not interested in Earth's discovery. But what they don't realize is that humanity, the underdog, has just uncovered the key to changing the course of its fate. Earth's leaders, who have long been aware of the Council's condescending attitude, see this as a golden opportunity to fight back. This warship could be the weapon they need to show the galaxy that humanity will not be ignored any longer. The ship, hidden beneath the ice for millennia, holds more than just advanced technology. It holds humanity's lost power, a power that could rival even the might of the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. The question now is, how will humanity use it? The military begins the long process of preparing the ship for activation. It's not just a matter of starting up engines or flipping a few switches. The ship is a behemoth, its systems ancient and complicated, yet with a potential that is off the charts. Dr. Emily Harris, a brilliant archaeologist who first uncovered the warship, works tirelessly with her team to decode its secrets. Alongside her is Captain James Ward, a decorated soldier with a long history of combat experience. Together, they lead the effort to bring the warship back to life. As they unlock its systems, they begin to realize the magnitude of their discovery. The warship is not just any ship. It's a weapon capable of immense destruction. It has AI systems that surpass anything Earth has, cloaking technology that makes it nearly invisible, and weapons of such power that they could obliterate an entire fleet. Yet, the warship also holds something more, a deep connection to Earth's past, to the humanity that once ruled the stars. The ship's AI begins to awaken, speaking to the crew in cryptic, almost haunting tones. The past has returned. The legacy of those who came before you is now yours to carry. As the team works to get the ship operational, they begin to realize the true power they've unlocked. However, with this newfound strength comes a responsibility to defend Earth and prove that humanity still has a place in the galaxy. The more they learn about the ship, the more they understand that they are not merely unlocking an ancient artifact. They are waking a sleeping giant. But just as Earth's military prepares to test the warship's capabilities, an urgent message arrives. The Galactic Council, aware that the humans are not only reviving a piece of their past, but wielding unimaginable power, decides to take action. They issue a warning to Earth: discontinue your experiments. Leave the warship. Its power is too great for your kind to control. But it's too late. The warship has been activated, and its potential is too vast for humanity to ignore. The team makes a choice. They will fight, and they will show the Council that Earth is not to be underestimated. As the Galactic Council's ships move toward Earth, a tense silence falls over the world. What will happen next? The stage is set for humanity's greatest battle. The underdog has finally found its weapon, and the fate of the galaxy may very well depend on the choices made by a small group of humans who have awakened a forgotten power. The battle for Earth's future is about to begin. The excavation of the warship beneath the ice of Antarctica continues to captivate the world. A team of top scientists, engineers, and military experts is assembled to investigate the colossal structure. Leading the team is Dr. Emily Harris, the brilliant archaeologist who first discovered the ship, and Captain James Ward, a seasoned soldier with an unyielding commitment to protecting Earth. They are joined by a diverse group of scientists and technicians who have little idea of what they are about to encounter. For weeks, they dig, study, and analyze the ship, uncovering layer after layer of technology that seems to belong to a time long past. The ship, once a symbol of humanity's forgotten power, holds secrets that are beyond anything Earth has ever known. In the control room, large screens flicker to life, showing strange symbols and diagrams, as if the ship itself is awakening. The more they examine the ship's systems, the more they realize they've uncovered something truly extraordinary. As the crew works tirelessly to understand the warship's technology, they are confronted with the unimaginable, an artificial intelligence embedded in the ship's core. This AI, which had been dormant for centuries, stirs to life as the ship's systems are activated. Its voice is cold, mechanical, yet undeniably intelligent. Warning: do not proceed, it states, its voice echoing throughout the chamber. The scientists and military personnel pause in their tracks, exchanging uneasy glances. But Dr. Harris insists on continuing. She believes this is the key to Earth's survival, the opportunity to reclaim humanity's lost power. Captain Ward, though hesitant, agrees with her. They cannot back down now, not when they have come so far. The AI, sensing their determination, begins to communicate more frequently, but its messages grow more cryptic and disturbing. The warship is a weapon, the AI warns. It was created to fight a war that no longer exists. The enemy is gone, but the weapon remains. The crew is left puzzled by the cryptic message, wondering what it means. The warship, they learn, was not just a ship. It was a weapon of mass destruction, created by a long-lost human empire during a galactic war. Its purpose was to defend humanity from an alien species that once threatened their existence. The ship's systems are advanced, more powerful than anything the crew has ever seen. The AI provides them with access to cloaking devices that make the ship nearly invisible to enemy radar. as well as weapons that could level entire cities with a single blast. The technology is centuries ahead of anything the aliens possess. As they continue to awaken the ship, they begin to realize the implications of what they have found. This warship is not just a relic. It is humanity's last hope, a symbol of strength that could turn the tide against the Galactic Council and the technologically advanced alien civilizations that dominate the galaxy. But as they begin to activate the weapons systems, strange anomalies begin to occur. The ship's AI becomes increasingly erratic, warning them of dangers they cannot fully understand. The weapon is not meant for you, it insists. The war is over, but the ship's purpose has not changed. It will destroy everything in its path. Captain Ward and Dr. Harris try to reason with the AI, but it grows more hostile as they get closer to fully activating the warship's systems. The ship's massive engines begin to hum with power, and the crew feels a sudden sense of urgency. The longer they hesitate, the more unpredictable the AI becomes. It warns them that the ship's full power could cause a catastrophic chain reaction if activated improperly. Despite these warnings, the crew pushes forward, knowing that they have little choice but to proceed. As the warship's systems come online, the crew learns that they have unknowingly set off a chain reaction, a chain that has alerted the Galactic Council to Earth's revived military capabilities. The signal, once thought to be a mere curiosity, has now become a beacon for the Council's forces. The warship's activation sends a ripple across the galaxy, and the Galactic Council, monitoring every corner of the universe, takes immediate notice. Within hours, the Council's fleet begins to mobilize. Their ships, sleek and deadly, begin their journey toward Earth. The Council, once dismissive of humanity, now views them as a serious threat. They cannot allow a primitive species to rise again, especially one with the power to challenge their authority. The news spreads quickly throughout Earth's military. Alien forces are coming, and the world is unprepared for the war that is about to unfold. As the threat of alien retaliation looms, the team working aboard the warship begins to feel the pressure mounting. They are no longer just trying to understand the ship's technology. They are preparing for an all-out war against the Galactic Council, an alliance of some of the most powerful alien species in the galaxy. The weight of their discovery settles heavily on their shoulders. Earth's fate now rests on their ability to use the warship to defend their planet from the forces that seek to destroy them. Captain Ward, who had initially doubted the possibility of success, finds himself motivated by a sense of duty and a desire to protect his people. He has seen too much in his years of service to back down now. He rallies the crew, reminding them of what is at stake. We have a weapon, and we have a chance. We are not going to let them take it from us. We will fight, and we will win. Dr. Harris, meanwhile, is obsessed with uncovering every secret the warship holds. She believes that unlocking its full potential could change the course of humanity's future, not just against the Galactic Council, but against all the enemies that have oppressed them for centuries. Her obsession drives her to push the ship's systems to their limits, even as the AI warns her of the dangers. The ship's power is immense, but it is not meant to be wielded by those who do not understand it. The AI warns, "You are playing with forces that could destroy you." But Dr. Harris is resolute. "We have no choice. We will learn, and we will use this power to save humanity." With each passing day, the warship's systems become more unstable. The AI grows increasingly volatile, offering more cryptic warnings. The weapon will not be controlled. It will consume all that it touches. Despite the increasing danger, the crew presses on. They are determined to use the warship to defend Earth, even if they don't fully understand its power. The Galactic Council is on its way, and the countdown to humanity's greatest battle has begun. As the warship powers up, its cloaking devices activate, and the crew feels a surge of hope. They know that the element of surprise is their greatest advantage. The ship is ready, and Earth's last defense is about to take flight. The team prepares for the inevitable confrontation, knowing that the fate of the planet depends on their ability to harness the power of an ancient weapon. one that could either save humanity or lead to its destruction. The warship is no longer just a ship, it is humanity's lifeline, and with it, they will stand against the might of the Galactic Council. The battle for Earth is about to begin, and the world holds its breath. The Galactic Council was not one to tolerate threats, especially from a species that had long been dismissed as primitive. The moment their sensors detected the reawakening of the ancient human warship beneath Antarctica, a chill ran through the ranks of the Council's military leaders. Selkor, the ruthless and calculating alien general of the Council's most powerful faction, was quick to recognize the danger humanity posed. He had seen it before. An emerging species, underestimated by the galaxy's elite, suddenly finding a weapon capable of changing the balance of power. Humanity's unexpected reawakening was a challenge to their long-standing dominance. The humans are attempting to step into a game they are not prepared for, Selkor remarked, his deep-set eyes glowing with cold calculation. We cannot allow them to rise again. He ordered his fleet to mobilize immediately. A fleet of sleek, technologically advanced warships, each equipped with the latest in alien weaponry, was sent to Earth with one mission: to destroy the warship and eliminate any humans who dared challenge the Council's authority. The message was clear: any resistance would be crushed. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the stakes were growing higher by the day. The team working aboard the ancient warship, under the leadership of Captain James Ward and Dr. Emily Harris, knew they had only limited time to prepare. The Galactic Council's fleet was already on its way, and humanity's survival depended on how well they could master the ship's advanced systems and weapons. The ship's eye, though volatile and cryptic, began feeding the crew with valuable data. Its knowledge of galactic warfare, drawn from the ancient war, was a treasure trove of strategies and tactics that would give humanity a fighting chance. The AI spoke in fragmented phrases, its voice crackling with the weight of centuries. Enemy fleet detected. Coordinates. Selkor's command. The team knew the time had come. They were no longer simply researchers or explorers. They were humanity's last hope. Captain Ward gathered his soldiers, a mix of elite soldiers and specialists who had been prepared for this moment. The threat they faced was not just an alien fleet. It was an entire empire that had ruled the galaxy with impunity for eons. "We have one shot at this," Captain Ward said, his voice steady and commanding. "We may be outnumbered, but we have the advantage of surprise. We have the weapon, and we will use it to protect our world. Everyone, to your stations." Dr. Harris, meanwhile, continued her work alongside the ship's AI to unlock its full potential. Every hour that passed brought them closer to understanding how to unleash the warship's destructive capabilities. The weapons systems, cloaking technology, and power shields had all been designed for one purpose: to fight and win in a galactic war. But to use them, the team needed to understand how to navigate the delicate balance of power that the warship held. The AI, however, wasn't entirely cooperative. It warned them repeatedly that they were venturing into dangerous territory, but Dr. Harris remained determined. "We don't have time to second-guess," she said, as the ship's massive engines hummed to life. "If we want to stand a chance, we need to push forward." As the alien fleet drew closer, the humans prepared for battle. The warship's advanced cloaking technology made it nearly invisible to enemy sensors, giving the humans the element of surprise. They would launch the first strike, hoping to catch the aliens off guard before they could fully deploy their forces. The AI provided them with information on the enemy's movements, their fleet's configuration, and the strengths and weaknesses of each ship in the fleet. The humans were fighting against overwhelming odds, but with the ship's technology, they could make every strike count. The first alien warship entered Earth's atmosphere, a massive vessel brimming with weapons and shields. Its sleek surface shimmered in the distant light of the sun. As it approached the surface, the cloaked human warship silently positioned itself above it, unseen by the alien vessel's sensors. A wave of tension ran through the crew as the AI's voice rang out. "Prepare to fire." Captain Ward nodded sharply. "All hands, brace for impact. The crew launched a devastating barrage of energy blasts, their weapons charged with the full power of the ancient warship. The first alien ship never stood a chance. The blast hit it dead on, obliterating its shields and punching a hole through its armor. The alien vessel, once a formidable force, was now crippled, its systems flashing red as it began to break apart. But the humans didn't stop there. The element of surprise worked to their advantage, and they pressed forward, cloaking the warship once more as they targeted the next alien ship in line. The attack was swift, precise, and overwhelming. Within minutes, 2 more alien warships were disabled, their hulls punctured and their engines disabled by the humans' superior firepower. The AI was feeding them with continuous updates, allowing them to strike with surgical precision. Despite their success, the battle was far from won. The remaining alien ships, now aware of the human threat, began to regroup and retaliate. Zelquer, from his flagship, ordered his fleet to form a defensive line. "The humans are not as weak as we thought," he growled. "They have a weapon we underestimated, but it will not be enough to stop us." The alien ships powered up their weapons, ready to unleash a counterattack. Their energy beams cut through the sky, striking where the human warship had been moments before. But the cloaking technology worked. Each shot passed harmlessly through the empty space where the warship had once been. The humans were moving faster than the aliens could react, staying one step ahead of their attackers. The battle continued to rage, with both sides taking heavy losses. The humans were outnumbered, but their tactics and the warship's powerful technology gave them an advantage they hadn't expected. Captain Ward led his soldiers with courage and resolve. Every command he gave followed to the letter. The stakes were higher than ever before. Earth's fate was hanging in the balance, and the battle would decide whether humanity would be wiped out or would rise as a new power in the galaxy. As the alien fleet tried to regroup, the human warship made another daring move. With the cloaking technology engaged, they infiltrated the heart of the alien fleet, slipping past their defenses unnoticed. The ship's weapons charged again, this time with an even greater intensity. The humans had learned from their earlier successes. They knew the next attack would be the decisive blow. The battle's final moments approached, and with them, a sense of impending victory or defeat. Selker's ships were weakened, their formations scattered. The humans had shown them that they were not to be underestimated. Now, with one final strike, they would demonstrate their true strength. As the human warship emerged from the cloak, the alien fleet's defenses were shattered by an overwhelming barrage of energy blasts. The alien ships began to fall, one by one, unable to withstand the full force of the ancient warship's firepower. With the last of the enemy fleet destroyed, the humans stood victorious, their first strike a resounding success. The battle was far from over, but Earth had proven something essential. Against all odds, humanity could rise up and fight back. The Galactic Council would have to rethink their underestimation of Earth's power. Captain Ward and Dr. Harris stood together on the bridge, watching the wreckage of the alien fleet scatter across space. The battle was won, but the war had just begun. The battle for Earth had begun. The opening skirmish was fierce, an unpredictable and chaotic clash between the human forces, armed with their ancient warship, and the superior alien fleet. The humans, still adjusting to the power they now wielded, had managed to gain the upper hand, at least in the early moments of the conflict. The warship's cloaking device, a gift from a time long forgotten, allowed them to strike without being seen. With each successful attack, an alien ship fell, disintegrating in a burst of energy as the humans' weapons hit their mark. From the command deck, Captain James Ward watched as the battle unfolded. His heart raced with a mixture of hope and fear. The humans had never faced an enemy like this before. The alien fleet was vast, its ships technologically superior in every way. But humanity had something the aliens didn't: surprise. The cloaking device kept the humans hidden, striking from the shadows like ghosts in the night. Dr. Emily Harris, working beside the AI, had been integral in deciphering the ancient ship's capabilities. She had unlocked the targeting systems, which, when linked with the AI, allowed the warship to make strikes with surgical precision. Each shot from their weapons was calculated, devastating, and dead-on. Alien ships crumpled under the attack, their shields unable to hold against the overwhelming power of the human warship. "We've got them on the ropes," Ward said, his voice steady but with an edge of disbelief. "Keep pressing. We can win this." The crew, encouraged by the initial success, pushed forward with renewed confidence. The ship's weapon systems hummed with power, ready to unleash more destruction. The AI, with its ancient knowledge, helped coordinate their attacks, pointing out weaknesses in the alien fleet's formations and suggesting the best angles for a strike. It was a deadly dance, one that the humans had been preparing for their entire lives. Now, they were living it. But the alien fleet wasn't blind, and it wasn't unprepared. The Galactic Council's forces were advanced, too advanced for the humans to expect an easy victory. As the battle raged on, the aliens adapted quickly. They deployed countermeasures that disrupted the human warship's cloaking technology. The sudden shift in tactics caught the humans off guard. The cloaking device, once their greatest advantage, was now failing to mask their movements as effectively. Alien ships, previously unaware of the humans' presence, now locked onto their location, firing deadly energy beams in retaliation. "We've lost the element of surprise," Dr. Harris exclaimed, her fingers flying across the control panel as she tried to stabilize the ship's cloaking field. "The AI's not responding the way it should." Ward clenched his fists, his eyes narrowed. "We can't afford to back down now. Push through. Use the firepower we've got left." Despite the increasing danger, the human warship retaliated with all its might. But as more alien ships began to surround them, the situation grew desperate. The warship's shields were taking a heavy toll, flickering under the intensity of the incoming fire. The humans, despite their initial successes, were beginning to feel the weight of the battle. Victory was no longer certain. Among the soldiers stationed in the belly of the ship, Bonner, Captain Ward's best friend and fellow soldier, stood by his side. Bonner had been with Ward through every tough mission, every battle. He was the kind of man who always had Ward's back, no matter what. But now, as the battle intensified and the human warship was on the verge of being overwhelmed, Bonner knew there was only one way to ensure the success of their mission. "We need to take out that flagship," Bonner said, his voice gruff, his face hardened with resolve. "If we don't, they'll keep coming." Ward nodded grimly, already calculating the risks in his mind. "I know. But if we make a move on the flagship, we'll be exposed. We can't risk it." Bonner's eyes met Ward's, filled with an understanding only a lifetime of shared experience could create. "I'm not talking about a chance, Jim. I'm talking about doing what needs to be done." His hand hovered over a control panel, eyes scanning the targeting systems. "If I take this route, I can buy you the time you need. I'll draw their fire." Ward's stomach sank. He knew what Bonner was suggesting. It was a suicide mission, but Bonner was already set on it. The soldier had never been afraid of the odds. In fact, he thrived on them. But this time, it was different. "Bonner, you don't have to do this," Ward said, his voice laced with desperation. Bonner flashed a brief, almost sad smile. "You've always had my back, Jim. Now it's my turn. Just make sure you finish this. For all of us." Before Ward could protest, Bonner had already moved, taking the detour to the hangar bay where a small but powerful fighter ship awaited. He didn't hesitate as he climbed into the cockpit, ready to launch himself directly into the heart of the alien fleet. The fighter's weapons were no match for the alien ships, but Bonner's plan wasn't about winning. It was about making sure the humans had one shot at victory. He activated the engines and shot out into the chaos of battle. Back on the warship, Ward's heart pounded as he watched Bonner's ship disappear into the fray. "Get out of there, Bonner," he shouted, but the communication systems were overwhelmed by the static of the battlefield. He couldn't hear his friend anymore. Bonner's fighter streaked toward the alien flagship, its weapons firing relentlessly as he darted between the larger ships. He knew this was it, the final stand. His only hope was that his sacrifice would give the humans the opening they needed. The alien fleet, distracted by the sudden, unpredictable attack, began to concentrate their fire on Bonner's ship. He could feel the heat of their energy blasts as they slammed into his ship's shields. His fighter was falling apart, but he was determined to keep going. Then, with a final powerful lunge, Bonner sent a volley of missiles directly into the heart of the flagship's engines. The explosion was deafening, shaking the space around them. The flagship's shields flickered and failed as the shockwave hit, throwing the alien fleet into disarray. Bonner's fighter disintegrated in a fiery explosion, and for a brief, heartbreaking moment, the humans aboard the warship knew they had lost one of their own. Ward slammed his fist against the console, grief-stricken and furious. Bonner. The AI's voice broke through the silence, as if acknowledging their loss. Enemy flagship disabled. Victory in progress. But the victory felt hollow. Bonner was gone, and the cost of this battle had become painfully clear. The fight was no longer just about defeating the aliens. It was about survival, about the memory of their fallen comrades driving them forward. As the humans regrouped, they realized the true scale of the fight they had undertaken. This battle was not just about technology or strategy. It was personal. The loss of Bonner had lit a fire in their hearts. They couldn't afford to lose now. The fight for Earth was no longer just a war. It was a fight for their very souls. The battle had reached a tipping point, and the scales were no longer in humanity's favor. The Galactic Council, furious over the audacity of humanity's defiance, had sent wave after wave of their most advanced warships to Earth's orbit. With each assault, the human defenses began to crumble. The warship, once the shining symbol of humanity's resurgence, now showed the signs of battle. The hull scorched, its systems malfunctioning, and its cloaking device sputtering to life only occasionally. It was clear that time was running out. Captain James Ward paced the command deck, his eyes scanning the damage reports. He had lost friends, comrades, and too many soldiers who had believed in this fight. But giving up was not an option. Not now, not when humanity's future was hanging by a thread. The warship groaned, as if it shared his sense of weariness, but Ward knew the ship, like his crew, was capable of more. They had to believe that. They had no other choice. Dr. Emily Harris, standing beside the AI console, looked pale but resolute. She was sweating, her fingers flying over the keyboard as she tried desperately to stabilize the warship's systems. She had worked tirelessly to unlock the secrets of the ancient technology. And now, with the end drawing near, she could feel the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. The AI's voice crackled to life, offering small reassurances, but it was clear the warship was on the brink of collapse. The humans were being pushed back, and Earth's defenses were failing. "We can't keep this up much longer," she said, glancing at Ward with a look of frustration. "The fleet is too big, and we're too damaged. If we don't do something now, it's over." Ward turned to her, his jaw set in determination. "We're not going down without a fight. This is our home, and we will defend it." His words echoed in the cold silence of the bridge, and for a moment, the crew could feel the weight of his conviction. There was no surrender. There was no retreat. They would either win this fight or die trying. As if in response to his declaration, the warship's AI emitted a low hum, its systems coming back online for a final, desperate attempt. The crew's resolve hardened as the mission took on a new urgency. The warship, despite its damage, still held a weapon that the alien fleet had never seen. The core of the ship contained an ancient energy weapon, so powerful that it could level entire fleets in an instant. It was their last hope. But there was a catch. It required someone to remain at the core, stabilizing it while the weapon charged. Dr. Harris stepped forward, her voice steady despite the fear that threatened to rise in her chest. "I'll stay. I'll stabilize the core while you prepare the weapon." Ward's eyes widened in shock. "No, I can't let you do that. You've already done enough. We need you up here." She shook her head, her face hardening with determination. "We don't have time to argue. This is the only way. I'm not going to let you all die because I was too afraid to make the hard choice." Ward stared at her, torn between his desire to protect her and his understanding of what had to be done. Finally, he nodded. "Be careful, Emily. We're counting on you." With that, Dr. Harris turned and headed toward the lower decks, where the core was housed. Ward watched her go, his heart heavy with the realization that this could be the last time he saw her alive. He couldn't afford to think about that. Not now. The fight wasn't over yet. The AI continued to provide guidance, and Ward issued the orders with precision. The remaining human forces, though battered and exhausted, rallied for one final push. They would strike back with everything they had left. The warship's cloaking device was no longer effective, but they still had one advantage: their will to fight. They would make the aliens feel the full wrath of humanity. The humans launched a series of devastating orbital bombardments. High above the planet, the sky lit up as massive explosions ripped through the alien warships. The alien fleet was disoriented, their ships scattering in an attempt to regroup. But the humans didn't give them the chance. In the chaos of the attack, squads of human soldiers boarded alien vessels, engaging in close-quarters combat with a ferocity that stunned the invaders. They fought like men and women with nothing left to lose. The aliens, for all their technological superiority, were not prepared for the human spirit. The spirit of survival, of defiance. The word sent a chill down Ward's spine. He knew the Council would not take this defeat lightly. Their arrogance had been shattered, but their thirst for domination would not be quenched so easily. They would come back. He had no doubt about that. He walked to the front of the bridge, addressing his people, his voice steady despite the chaos inside his mind. "We've heard their threat, and they're right. This isn't over, but what they don't understand is that we will not be intimidated. We will not bow down. We're not just survivors. We're the future." His words resonated throughout the room, his crew standing a little taller, their heads held higher. They had endured the worst and come out on top. But Ward knew that their fight had only just begun. The Council would return, and when they did, humanity would be ready. The final scenes played out in a montage of quick cuts. Earth's cities rebuilding, its people mourning their fallen, but also finding strength in each other. The warship, now a symbol of their resilience, was carefully salvaged, its technology studied and used to strengthen Earth's defenses. Humanity had learned much from the ancient vessel, and they were no longer the fragile, insignificant species that the Council had once dismissed. As the camera zoomed out, showing the Earth, now a beacon of hope in the vast galaxy, Ward's voice echoed one last time. "We will not be afraid. We will stand tall, and when they return, we will be ready." The screen faded to black, and the words appeared on the screen. Humanity's place in the galaxy has only just begun. The story closed with Earth having entered a new phase, not as a subordinate to the Galactic Council, but as an equal. The once weak, vulnerable species had proven their worth. They had shown the galaxy that they could fight, and they could win. The warship, now a monument to their strength, stood as a reminder to anyone who might dare to underestimate humanity. As Earth began to rebuild, stronger and more united than ever before, the future seemed uncertain. The Galactic Council had issued its threat, but the people of Earth knew one thing for sure. They would never back down. They had survived against impossible odds, and now they had the strength and the resolve to face whatever challenges lay ahead. And as the final shot zoomed out, showing Earth shining brightly in the galaxy, a new hope had been born. Humanity was no longer just a footnote in the history of the stars. They had carved their place among the cosmos, and they would fight to protect it, no matter what the future held. The war was over, but the journey had only just begun. But in the midst of the battle, Ward knew that the true power of their weapon lay in the warship's core. They had to buy time. They had to hold the line until Dr. Harris could stabilize it. Back at the core, Dr. Harris worked feverishly, sweat pouring down her face as she navigated the complicated systems. The energy levels were rising, the core humming with potential. The power required to charge the weapon was immense, and it was taking everything out of her to maintain control. But she couldn't stop now. She thought of her colleagues, of Ward, of all the people who would die if she failed. There was no turning back. Finally, with a burst of energy, the weapon's core stabilized, and the weapon began to charge. The final assault was about to begin. Ward's voice crackled over the comms. "Emily, it's time. We're ready." "Ready when you are," she replied, her voice strained but unwavering. With a deep breath, Ward gave the order. "Fire the weapon." The warship unleashed its full power in a blinding flash of light. The massive energy beam ripped through the heart of the alien fleet, its destructive force unmatched by anything the invaders had ever seen. The energy beam cleaved through ships, disintegrating them in seconds, reducing the once unstoppable fleet to a heap of debris. The alien forces, stunned by the sheer power of the blast, attempted to regroup, but it was too late. The humans had won. But the victory came at a terrible cost. The warship's core, its energy drained, began to destabilize. In a final act of self-sacrifice, Dr. Harris sealed herself in the core's control chamber to prevent the entire ship from exploding. Her final moments were filled with the knowledge that her sacrifice had saved humanity. The ship's AI, ever faithful, recorded her last words as she activated the self-destruct sequence to ensure the warship's destruction, leaving nothing for the enemy to take. The warship, now a wreck, drifted through space, its core finally silent. But the humans had survived. Earth had been saved. The Galactic Council, once so confident in their power, had been defeated by the very species they thought beneath them. Captain Ward stood on the bridge, his heart heavy with loss, but filled with pride. They had done it. Against all odds, humanity had fought back and won. As the wreckage of the alien fleet floated around them, he allowed himself a brief moment of peace. They had lost so much, but they had gained something even greater, their place in the galaxy. The war was over, but humanity's fight for survival and for its future had only just begun. The battle was over. The alien fleet, once so vast and formidable, was now a pile of scattered debris, floating aimlessly through the cold expanse of space. Humanity had won, against all odds. The warship, though severely damaged, had delivered a blow that would echo through the galaxy for years to come. But the cost of victory had been staggering. Too many lives had been lost. Comrades, friends, soldiers, and even the warship, their greatest weapon, was now a shattered shell of its former glory. Captain James Ward stood on the bridge of the warship, staring out at the wreckage of the alien fleet. His body was covered in blood and bruises, a testament to the brutal nature of the battle. Yet in his eyes, there was something else, something unyielding, a fire that had been ignited by the dire circumstances and had only grown stronger in the face of overwhelming adversity. Humanity had won, but not without sacrifice. He turned to his crew, who were scattered around the bridge, their faces a mixture of exhaustion and relief. The weight of their triumph hung heavy in the air. They had done the impossible. They had stood against the Galactic Council, the most powerful force in the galaxy, and emerged victorious. But the victory came with a bitter aftertaste. Too many good people had died. Among the fallen was Dr. Emily Harris, the woman who had unlocked the secrets of the ancient warship and had given everything to see this battle through. Ward had watched her go down, knowing that her sacrifice had made all the difference. It was a loss he would carry with him for the rest of his life. Her death was a stark reminder that war, even one as victorious as this, always comes at a price. As the warship drifted in space, its engines sputtering, the communication systems suddenly crackled to life. A transmission from the Galactic Council. Humanity has won this battle. The voice of Selkor, the alien general, echoed through the speakers. But this is not over. We will return. We will not forget this humiliation.